In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a copy of your Joomla site for testing purposes. And we're going to see two ways to do that. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Oh boy. I don't see any sound happening here. Oh, yes, there is sound. Sorry. I just looked up my controls. Couldn't see it going up and down. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to Watch Me Work live stream number 149 here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel, where I show you my favorite extensions, tools, and tips for building and maintaining Joomla sites. I also work on Joomla sites, so if you're looking to hire someone short-term, long-term, or you just got yourself in a spot, send me an email, tim@cybersalt.com, and we will talk. Today's video is brought to you by our channel sponsor, mysites.guru. Head on over to mysites.guru and get a free site audit for your Joomla site. And while you're there, check out all the tools and information that will save you time and money managing one or multiple Joomla sites and other kinds of sites as well. And if you decide to subscribe, use the coupon code BASICJoomla. All right, everybody. So I'm a little bit late today because things are just so busy here in the business. And so I've been keeping late hours. And I have also been doing lots. Hello to Bjorn, Ivor, Mary in chat. Also, just as I was getting ready to go live, I realized that I did not set up my new camera. Now you'll notice that instead of staring at the side of my head while I'm looking at the screen, I'm now looking directly at the screen because I have a front-facing, I have this thing, it's called Center Cam that Center Cam that I got from Indiegogo. It's the first Indiegogo campaign I've ever taken part in. And so there's actually a very small camera hanging down right in the middle of my screen here where I'm working. So no more looking at the side of my head while I'm looking at the screen. Now, if I do look over at the chat here, that will, you'll see a little bit of side of my head. But anyways, it is working really well. But I had to finish the setup in my Streamlabs OBS program here. So yes, hopefully that will be an improvement. Looking at the front of my face instead of the side of my head all the time, because it's like, although it's the side of my head is big enough, I could probably sell advertising on it. So, and some of that advertising could be probably very square and boxy as well. All right, so let's turn our attention to the screen, and we will switch right over here. Let's see, let me get my right buttons here. Computer right screen. There we go. All right. And yes, thanks, Bjorn. Yeah, it's working. Actually, the first one they sent me was a dud, and it took me a while to get through to support. So, I mean, those Indiegogo campaigns are often new companies figuring it out. But yeah, it works well. And sometimes the color is a bit off, but I can adjust the temperature of the lights in my studio. All right, so last week I was working on the basic Joomla site and getting ready. I'm working on a new template for it. And I was using Template Creator CK, which is the one that Mary likes very much. And, you know, it was lonely last week. Nobody was really here on the stream till much later. I think Hobby Teresa popped on. Hello, Imran. Good to see you coming here from tomorrow. And, but anyways, that was fine. Just kind of worked away. And I was just doing it here on the live site. But I had someone contact me yesterday who wanted some help updating their site and doing some testing on a Joomla 3.6.5 site. And I've been meaning to do this tutorial for a while, so here we go. All right, so I'm going to show you two ways. We're going to see two ways to make a copy of the site today. The reason, I'm not sure which way is the best way. I think there's one way that is better for people that have less experience importing, exporting things using the cPanel tool in a database. But then there's also a way that I think is faster, but it involves picking up some skills along the way that maybe not everyone has. So I'm going to do the faster one first, and then I'm going to do the what I think is probably a more novice-friendly method later on in the channel. So I don't think that either of these methods is difficult for anybody to pick up. There's probably going to be some new skills for anyone who's totally novice. So let's just jump into it. Here we go. All right. So this is a basic Joomla.com site here. Here is the control panel for it. This first method, well, both methods are going to involve creating a subdomain on your hosting and copying your live site into the subdomain so you can do all your testing there on the copy. And then if everything works out well, you can either use that as your new live site, or else you can just repeat all of your steps on your live site as well. All right. Now, before we do anything here, of course, let's log into the admin area of the site here. That is interesting. I don't know. Did not unlock my... I actually turned my computer off last night before I went to bed, and which meant that when I came down here, it was I had to start it up too. So fortunately, it's got a solid state drive in it. All right, I'm gonna go. I already have Akiba in here. I have Akiba backup, and I already have a current backup of this site. It runs daily, so already have it. So you want to make sure that you have Akiba on your site, and make sure you have a backup of your site. This first, and just in case you do something wrong, but. And so, hello, Michael. Good to see you. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is create a subdomain to copy our site to. And to do that, we're going to go down into domains and to subdomains. Okay. And now we're going to create it. So I'm just going to call this test copy. All right. When I hit tab, I'll get a new document root. It's going to create a folder called testcopy.basicjoomla.com, and I will create it. All right. Now, that is awesome. Next, we will go back to the main part of cPanel, and we're going to go to File Manager. And now you will see in here that we have a folder called, down the side here, testcopy.basicjoomla.com. And so now, that is an empty folder. We can now copy all of the files from our live Joomla site into this subdomain. And we're going to copy them, not move them. Now, this main site is in the public HTML folder. And I'm going to just copy everything. Now, you'll notice down here in test copy, we already have a CGI bin and htaccess. But I'm just going to copy everything. All these folders. You could probably leave out .h. Well, that's, I think, just copy everything. All right, so I'm going to left click on this top folder. I'm going to scroll down, and hold on for a second. I've got for some reason this bottom bar is still. Let's see here. I cannot get it to. There we go, to disappear. All right, I'm going to scroll down. Hold the shift key and then click on robots.txt, and that copies everything. All right. Sorry, change that. Now I'm going to right click on any of these and select copy. And now here I put in the path where I want to go to. So this is the root. Think of this as the root of your hosting account. And right now, if I were to go copy files, it would just try to put them right back in the same folder. So down here, we're going to change public HTML to testcopy.basicjoomla.com. All right, testcopy.basicjoomla.com. Very faintly down here on the left-hand side, you will see we've got a, that's the name of our subdomain. So that's where it's / testcopy.basicjoomla.com. And we're going to copy these. All right. Now this is really nice because even if you have a massive site, when you're copying it, when you're doing this in a subdomain on your same hosting, you don't have to download it and upload it somewhere. You can just put it in a different folder. I also like this too. Because you can you're testing right on your server as well. You're not putting it into an environment that's on your laptop that maybe is set up differently with PHP, however you're running a server on there. Although having said that, I realize that for some people working on a live site on a server, if they have a bad internet connection, is not great. Michael says you can select all to copy. Let's see. Let's see. You can select all to copy. Let's see. Let's right click. Am I missing select all? Oh, yes, right up here. Look at that. Well, how about that? I've never, ever noticed that. Select all. That is great. Yes, and Ivor, you also have to copy the database. That is true. So first we'll look in testcopy.basicjoomla.com. Here's all of our files. And then yes, we also need to copy the database. Now, here's the deal here. We're going to go back to our control panel, and we're going to create a database for this site to use. Because if you, yes, Michael, and that does save missing things. I like that button. I'm going to do that more often. Well, I'm going to use that from now on. Because your live Joomla site is using a database, if we don't change the database information in the copy and have the copy running off a different database, you're still going to break your live site, because the changes that you make in your test copy are going to affect the database that your live site's using. So we're going to go to databases, and we're going to use the MySQL database wizard. All right. Now I'm going to create a database here, test copy. All right. So be a little bit more secure in what you name your databases, not when you're working on your sites. But just for ease of me to remember, I'm going to make a database called test copy. All right. So I hit enter, and now I need to create a database, a user to access that. So for now, I'm going to just do the same. Don't you do this. You pick something different. Now for a password, I'm going to generate a password using this tool here, and I'm going to copy, and I'm going to, all right, so I've used it in a safe place. All right, I'm going to use password, and it fills them both in there, but I've got them copied. So now I create a user. And I've created a user. Now I need to give that user access to this new database, and I'm going to give it all privileges. All right, so the user basic Ju test copy is going to have access to the database basic Ju test copy with all privileges. Now, before I change screens here, I'm going to copy the username, and I'm going to copy the database name, all right? Because that's going to be, I'm going to have to put that information in the configuration.php file of the new site. All right, so I've made that. So I make those changes, all right? And now I can go back to the home here, and I can first of all go into test copy now back in the file manager, go to configuration.php, and I'm going to go edit. And now I have to replace the database user, database name, and password in the configuration file in this copy of the site. So we will scroll down, and here's the database. So, and of course, I'm giving this information away on the live stream, so I'll change this for my live site later on. Go Control V. Even if whoops. Okay, I'm going to go Control V, and I'm going to put in the database name, same as the user in this case. Okay, and I'm going to scroll down here. The order of your configuration file will be different probably. Let's see here. I will go down and let's see. I'm looking for oh, there we go. Password. All right, and I'll go Control V, and there's the password. And then the last thing that I need to do is find the user name and where's user basic Ju test copy. Webmaster. Oh, sometimes it's hard to. Oh, no, there's user there. All right, and I'm going to go Control V. All right, so we save that. Now we're not there yet, but let me just show you something that's going to happen. If we go to testcopy.basicjoomla.com, all right, we're going to say error because there's nothing in the database yet. We've created it, we've pointed configuration.php to it, but there's nothing in that database because we still have to put that, we still have to move the content from the database for the live site into the copied site. And to do that, we use a tool in cPanel. I'm going to use a tool in the database area called phpMyAdmin. And here are all of our different Joomla databases that we have here. Now, I forget what the database is that my live site is using. So I'm going to go System, Global Configuration, and I'm just going to go to Server, and the database is, oh, the one that's Basic Joomla. Okay, great. Now I'm going to go back to phpMyAdmin. Here on the left, there's Basic Joomla, the database. And what I'm going to do is go export, this button up here. I'm going to export the whole thing. I'm going to just only use minimal options. Now you do have the option to export the individual tables that you select here, but we want them all for the whole site. All right. So I'm going to export, and this is going to create something for me to download. Let's make a new folder that's easier to find here. Make a site copy. All right. So we will save this SQL file down here into this folder, and basic Joomla original. Okay. And this is the original one. All right. So we'll save that. Great. Now the next table, now we need to import that same file into our new database, which is empty. So when we look down the list here, here's our database here, Basic Joo test copy, and let's see, it is okay. There we go. I don't know what that error was, but Iver says he thinks I put the wrong user in config file. Well, we will see. Test copy, and then see, it's empty. There's nothing in it. Up here when we clicked on Basic Joomla, everything was here, but test copy is empty, but that's because we have to import all the information. So let's go import, choose a file, and we will go to up to delete to our latest folder here, which is make a site copy. I think we called it right. I'll make a site copy. Here's the SQL file, and we open, and we click go. Now, if you have a massive database file, your server might be too big to upload. It might time out. Depends on what your hosting settings are. But of course, on my server, I've got things wide open here. And so, which I also do for my clients, pretty much. All right, so now that has finished. So now if we click on test copy again, look at that. There is all of our tables from the live site, which means if we go up to testcopy.basicjoomla and hit enter, no, we still have an error. So let's go back. Someone thought I put in the wrong information. Let's see. Oh, that's right. I put the password in user. Good eye. Control V here, Basic Joo test copy. Thank you for catching that. Thank you for who noticed that. Ivor, yes. Okay, so now we hit enter. And look at that. Now, under testcopy.basicjoomla.com, we have a copy of the site. Now, one last thing we need to change, and it's in configuration. Notice up here, let's go to log path. Notice here, the log path is still home/basicjew/public HTML. What we need to do is change that to test copy.basicjoomla.com. All right, and that's the path on our server, home basicjew test copy.basicjoomla.com/administrator. All right, the root looks a bit different in some other things, but this is the actual, like, right on the server that this lives on. That's that path. Now, I'm also going to select that because not only do we need to change log path, we also need to change the temp folder, and here temp path. And to do that, we will replace that path there again, and now we're all good. That means that I can now log in to this test copy with the same information, login information, as my live site. So if I go to administrator, and it's already filled it in, guessing it. So let's try, see if the guess is correct. Yes. Here we are. Now, just as an example, let's go to content featured articles, just to show you this is working. I'm going to unpublish the featured article. So when I go and preview the front of the test copy, there is no article. But if I go to basicjoomla.com, it does show, because these are two different sites. I can now, and just be careful that you don't have too many tabs open and doing things in the wrong sites. I can now do my updating, extensions manage and update, or changes, or things that I want to do on my test site without affecting the live site. All right, so let's see, let's update these things. Let's see if they update. Right. Okay, one didn't update. Probably don't have the membership code in here to get that update. I think I don't even have it on the other site yet either, so that's fine. But anyways, there we have it. Everything we can now work in that copy. Now, let's suppose you're working on your copy and you're doing the updates and you've done everything, and it's like, okay, let's see, is this still working? Yeah, the site is still working. Of course, I've turned that off. That's all right. Now, at this point, you can do two things. If your testing is complete and everything worked well, you could just go back to your live site and do all the same things. Extensions, manage, and update. And you can do, okay, we know that this is not going to update. And we could do this here. And everything is good, and then you would just take a new Akiba backup and proceed from there. Or you can also kind of work back and forth. So let's say back here, okay, this is testcopy.basicjoomla.com. Oh, this is not, I don't have the password in there yet. Or I don't have the membership, I don't have like the download ID, because this is a pro template. What you could do is put the download ID in here in your test copy, and then just go and repeat that step on your live site, which is here, and go back and forth, knowing that you're still keeping things equal. So I have a couple of clients with massive sites, and instead of doing this make a copy process all the time, I sort of run two sites in parallel. And so whatever I do on the test site, I will then, if it works, I just do it right away on the live site. If I change some CSS here, I change it on the live site manually. And in that way, I'm always the live site is good, is not interrupted, and I know everything I do on it is going to work, still with keeping backups. Hello, Serge, good to see you. And so that's one way to use a test copy. Just test things here. Oh, it works. You test on the other side. In the case of going from Joomla 3.6.5, say, or a much lower version of Joomla, I would still probably recommend that you do everything, all your updates, get your new site, get your test copy site working, and then when everything is working, make it the live site. And to do that, you can do it this way. Let's go back into Control Panel. All right. And we'll go back into our file manager, which I think is already open. Bjorn says I should change the colors on the test admin site so we know the difference. Yes, that would be a good idea. Just to know the difference between going back and forth. Excuse me. I'm not going to do. I don't think I'll do. Let's just see here. Extensions, templates, and let's go to oh, sorry. This is the live site. Careful, Tim. Careful. Okay. Extensions, templates. Here's the administrator site. Why don't we just do this? I'm going to go switch to Hather for the back end. Does that make a change? It sure does. Now we know the difference between the two, although I won't be able to navigate as well. All right. If you have your sandbox site and everything is, and your sandbox, your test copy, you've made lots of changes and you want it to be your new live site, here's the easiest way to make it live. Go into cPanel, into your file manager, and you'll notice, so here your site is most likely going to be public HTML, your live site, but maybe not. In this case it is. So here's a public HTML folder right here in the root here. So right here in the hosting. While you're viewing the root folder, go and make a new one, and let's call this folder public _ HTML new. All right, and actually let's call it new - public HTML. Now we create that. Notice so we have a new public HTML and we have a public HTML. Next, we're going to click on home, or we could scroll down. Let's go to testcopy.basic Joomla, and now we're going to use this new tool that Michael's brought to my attention. Select all, and we're going to then right click, or I guess up here we could actually click copy. Now look at that. All right, copy. And we're going to copy it to new - public _HTML. I will have to call them back later on my phone. New - public _HTML. All right. And we're going to copy all of the files from our sandbox, or our test copy, into public HTML. All right, now into the new public HTML. Now we're going to go into that folder, new public HTML. We're going to go to configuration.php and we're going to edit it. And this is where we change the path again, which was home basic Jew / public _HTML administrator logs. Now remember, right now we're in the folder new - public _HTML, but we're about to rename that to public HTML. So I'm setting the path here for the new live site. And so then we will go down and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing from down here. Public _HTML. Now Serge says you can do the same thing if you have Softaculous on cPanel. I actually do have Softaculous on my cPanel, and I've not really looked into that whole staging tool or copying tool. But yeah, maybe I will look at that next. That would be a third method. Thanks, Serge. Yeah, definitely we'll check that out. All right, so this new temp path, home basic Jew / public HTML, that is the path that we have up here. Yeah, so well, I save that. Now the next thing we do here is in cPanel, we will go down to public HTML, and we will call this, actually I should put old at the end so it stays alphabetically with the P's. Old, which of course by doing that means I'm going to break the live site, right? Can't find it. No worries, because right away we're going to change new public HTML just to public HTML. And when we go back here, it will work. And of course, look, there's no home page because we turned that off in the copy. And if we go to administrator, there is the different back end that we're using, right? So let me just go to content. Oh boy, articles, which is the article here. Let's just see. I have no idea. I have no idea what the title is for that. I'll have to figure it out. Anyway, so that's one way to move. That's one way to make a copy of your Joomla site for testing purposes, and then you can work between that copy and the other. Or if you want, you can do everything on your test copy, and once it's good enough for you to be the new live site, just copy it to one folder and back from another. All right. Now so that's method one. The next method here, and I want to make a little note here about what time are we at here? 11:46. Okay, so because I want to put some links into this other method. All right, so why don't we make another copy of the site? Now, first of all, just to clear things up, I'm going to go back and I'm going to, this is why you do it this way, I'm going to make public HTML new again, and then I'm going to reactivate this old public HTML. That's always nice to keep those in case something breaks. And remember, once you're making all these copies, you're using up space on your hosting account, and so therefore you want to be very careful to not get things to be too junky. Delete all these files that you don't need anymore. And just for a second, I need to change to the chat on the right, because yes, I did change the live site and it should be back, Bjorn. If I go here, right screen capture, and now, yeah, everything is back. I do need to do that. I just need a second because I need to let my I have an employee now, everybody. If you remember that I had said that I was going to hire somebody for through a program here in Canada. I've hired them and I'm training them, and it's working really well. And I had said to them that I would meet with them at noon today. I forgot that the live stream goes beyond noon. So what I need to do is go into here, and I just need to contact them through my little task management thing. February to Zoom. So just let me take care of this off screen very quickly before we get to the next thing here. All right, so I'm going to set this here. There we go. 1 p.m. is when I'm going to contact them. Okay, and I have to assign this to him here. And there we go. And say, I forgot I have a live stream today. Let's meet at 1 p.m. And also, why don't I send him the link to this live stream? Why not? Let's go /basic Joomla. If that comes up, great. And I will go like here. I could share this here. Just going to copy the URL for him here and paste that there. Control V. Great. Okay. Now I can close that, and then I need to close this screen here. Full screen. Hello, Bjorn. Bjorn saying hello to everyone. Yes, the live site, the admin, I did change that to Hather. All right. Now, if we're going to, here's another way. Here's another way to make a copy of your site, of your Joomla site, in order to for testing purposes. So let's close all these. I don't want to close cPanel. Let's close all these other things we have open here. All right. This is basic Joomla. Great. All right. All right. Here's another method for making a copy of your Joomla site for testing purposes. What you'll do first of all is log into the back end of your Joomla site, and you're going to go into components and to Akiba backup. Now, if you don't have Akiba backup installed, go ahead and install Akiba backup from the extensions directory. You'll find it here. Extensions, manage, and install, and then install from the web. And Akiba is usually always the first one. That's right there. All right, and use that to make a backup of your site. Now, when you're in Akiba, you can select different locations that your site will get backed up to on your server. All right. And so when you back up your Akiba, your backup files will not only, you can have them go inside of the install of your Joomla site, or you can put them somewhere else on your web hosting account. I've asked what database you're using on the live site now. I am now using, I am back to the original live database here on the original live site here on the channel, Ivor. All right, so we're going to set Akiba backup to make a backup of the site, but copy it to a location where we can create a backup. All right, watch what we do. First of all, let's go into cPanel, and we'll go to subdomains, and we're going to create a subdomain called, let's call it Akiba backup. Let's call it Akiba copy. All right, Akiba copy, and now there we go, akibacopy.basicjoomla.com. Great. Now we will go into Akiba backup, and we're going to go to profiles, and we're going to go down to basic operations and profiles management. This will look different in Joomla 4. I thought about showing this in Joomla 4, but I think the vast majority of testing happening right now with test copies is Joomla 3. All right, we're going to make a new profile. And I'm going to call this, I'll do this, copy to sandbox location. All right. So we make that copy to sandbox location. All right. Now let's go back to our control panel, and we'll select the active profile here and make it copy to sandbox location. Now with that open, what we're going to do is go down to configuration, and we're going to configure the output directory for this particular profile. And to do that, we're going to go over here and select a new location. And we can do that by going up a level, and by viewing this here. So here we are in home. It's not public HTML. It's home.basicjoo, and so we're going to put it in this subfolder right here, akibacopy.basicjoomla.com. Now, that's where we want it to go, so we're going to say use that. And up here, we'll go save. In fact, we can go save and close. Here's our new path, root parent akibacopy.basicjoomla.com. So next, what we can do is this. Copy to sandbox location is the profile that's selected. We're now going to select, now we can do a one-click backup of this profile here, but since this is live, we could also do backup now. But watch, we'll go back up now. And this is going to now back up our site. And this is not a large site, so it won't take very long. It's going to back up our site to the subdomain that we want our test copy to be in. We'll just wait for it to finish up here. Hopefully this does not upload it to Dropbox. I have this set up to upload to Dropbox. I think it should be fine. I'll take a quick look and see. Post-processing. We'll see if this goes to Dropbox or not. It might be. We will see. I'll wait for this to finish. And let it finish. This is a little bit bigger than just a core, just a plain basic Joomla site. But, oh, okay, so now let's manage backups and see. Okay, yeah, so see, this one that we just took actually went to Dropbox because that's how I have this site set up. No worries. I'm going to fetch it back to the server, and hopefully it fetches it to the right place. All right. Okay, let's see here. Let's go. Here we are in our control panel. We'll go to File Manager, and we go to Akiba Backup. And there you go. There is our JPA file. That is great. That's what we wanted. Oh, it's 314 megabytes. Okay. Next, what we're going to then do, now that we have the Akiba backup file in there, we're going to restore this Akiba backup into this folder. And to do that, you use another little program called Kickstart. And if you search Akiba Kickstart, or Google that, you'll come to just at the top results here, Akiba Kickstart. We'll go into there, and what we want is this little file here that extracts our archives on the server. So we will click download, and we want to click this download core right now at 7.1. And we'll just wait for my for the hamsters to kick in here on my computer, and I'm going to download this to my computer. All right, now notice down on the left hand side we've got the file downloaded. Now we're going to go back into our cPanel to the location. Here we are, akibacopy.basicjoomla.com, and here's where this file is, where our archive file is, our JPA file. We're going to upload Kickstart. So down the left hand side, I'm just going to drag, you can always select the file location, but I'm just going to drag it up from where it is there, from being downloaded in Chrome. It gets uploaded, and now this button here, we go back to that folder, and there's Kickstart Core. Now we go right click and extract. And now we have the kickstart.php, program extracted. Next, we do this. Now we will go to a different URL. Here we'll go to Akiba copy, .basicjoomla.com. All right. So basically, we are calling. We're just going and calling for a file from our subdomain there that we've just copied our backup files to. But up here we go /Akiba, /kickstart.php. Now, what I'm typing up here has nothing to do with this particular web page. I'm just reusing this tab. If I were to create a new tab and push paste there, all right, I would we'll start the recovery process. Watch, here we go. Things you should know about Akiba Kickstart. You start to read here. All right, so we click there to close it. And now it's already picked at the archive file. There's only one there for it to have, although there's another zip file, but of course that's not what we're using. Different things, the temporary directory is going to figure that all out. So anyways, really don't have to worry too much about this. I'm going to click start, and now it starts to extract the archive. This is the exact same process if you were going to move your site from one server to another, except that you would probably have to download the archive file to your computer and then upload it. Serge says when he has to do that, he prefers to do a zip file and extract from the cPanel too, in one click. Serge, are you talking about using Akiba, and that you use the output format as a zip file? The reason that I'm doing Akiba Kickstart for this second method is because it avoids the whole export and import of the database, which I think perhaps for some novice users who don't necessarily feel comfortable going into phpMyAdmin and exporting and saving and uploading, it just sort of takes out that step. Okay, yeah. And so, yeah, you could choose a zip file for Akiba, but then do it all in one step. But I don't think that by extracting it in cPanel, does it put your SQL folder or your SQL file separately in there for you to do an import? I'm using this method just so that it just bypasses the whole phpMyAdmin export import thing. All right, so the archive file has been extracted. We'll go to run the installer, and it's going to look at information here and everything and check PHP version and all things of that manner. So we're going to go next, and look, now it wants a database. Now you need to create a new database again for your site copy. Otherwise, you would be using, if you have two Joomla sites, if your live site uses a database and your copy uses the same database, anything you make changes to in the copy is going to change the same database your live site's using. You don't want to do that. So once again, we go into cPanel, we go to databases, and we'll run this wizard. So let's create a database, Akiba copy. Be careful, some web hosts will only allow 8 characters for a database name or a username. So you might even put in more than 8 characters and it gets shortened to 8. So pay attention to that happening. But we've got Akiba copy, and then we're going to make this Akiba copy. So usually in the users, they will limit you, often will limit you to 8 characters. Akiba copy, we're going to generate this password. Yes. Okay, let's use this password here. We'll copy it. I have copied it. See you later, Imran. Take care of yourself. All right, so we'll create this user. We're going to give the user all privileges. Now before, remember, let's just double check user. That's what it is there. Great. And database. So user, it used all the characters in this case. Good. And database. And we have the password in there. And that is good. Excellent. So now that we've created that password, we've created that user, we can go back to our restoration tab. Now on my server, localhost. I think the majority of servers have localhost. Your host might have something like sql.yourhost.com or something. So you need to know in your hosting. For my company, it's localhost. The username is basic Jew Akiba copy. The password is this here. And the database name is the same. Always pick a different name for yourself, for yours. The username and database name, have them different. We will click next. And first the database gets restored. Great. Then we go next. And then here's your site parameters, which in this case I'm keeping all the same. All right. And let's go next. And now it says we're almost there. Close this window and then return to the previous tab and click cleanup. All right, so this takes care of getting rid of the files that are no longer needed from the restore process. And now we have two options. We can visit our site's front end or visit the back end. Let's visit the site's front end. And once again, we have made a sandbox copy or testing copy of the Joomla site that we had before, akibacopy.basicjoomla.com. The advantage of this method is that you didn't have to go into phpMyAdmin and export the database and then import the database in the new one. You also did not have to go in the configuration file and change the path, because Kickstart, when it opened up the archive, did the exact same thing. It just automatically changed things for us. Michael says Akiba is a great tool for moving sites to new hosts, and there's a very good video on Akiba. Yeah, there's a bunch of videos on Akiba for moving things. I've got one for backup. I don't know if I've ever actually done one precise on how to move it to a different host. All right, so and of course now if we were to go into here, we would see let's see, administrator. We would see that we can log into here. And yeah, here we are. We can now play around now and make changes to things. Our live site is operating under Akiba copy.basicjoomla.com. Not the live site, the test site is operating there. So that's the second method, which I think maybe the is one faster or the other. I don't know. It might be 50-50. I think, though, like I said, for novice users who aren't always comfortable going into phpMyAdmin in the database there, this just handles more steps for you. You don't have to go in and make changes in the configuration.php. You still have to create a database, but it's less fiddly stuff. All right, so why don't we look at what Serge suggests about Softaculous in the control panel. All right, so let's close these here. All right. And we will stay here in the live site just for here. So in the C panel here, Softaculous is a tool for installing quick installs and for managing different software products, different things that you can install. I don't recommend using Softaculous for updating Joomla sites because it only manages the core. It doesn't manage the extensions that are in your site. So if you had an extension that was not compatible, like I've seen it where Softaculous says, hey, there's a new version of Joomla available. Why don't you jump up? You can install it. But there's no consideration to what's happening with the extensions that are in it either. So let me just make another note where we're at here for time. 12:08. This allows me to set up a third option for, all right, making a test copy of your site using Softaculous. All right, so here we are in cPanel, and we're going to type filter for Softaculous, and here is the Softaculous. Here's your options. Let's go to the Softaculous. Is it apps and stuff? I don't know which one of these. Let's see. Site software, no. Softaculous apps installer. Okay, here we go. Now, how many? Now here you'll see right here it says under Joomla I have 3 outdated installations. So let's click on here. And what have I got? Oh, I've got J3 Core, J4, and I've got a WordPress thing hanging out down here. All right, so that's I could upgrade to 3.10.5 on my Joomla 3 Core. I think this might be updated. But let's see. I think there's a way too that we can. Let's see if this shows all that are in there. See, basic Joomla does not show up in here. I think there might be a way for me to install it somehow, but let's make a sandbox copy of the Joomla 3 Core basicjoomla.com. All right, so this site here is one that I have just for testing and that. And I think, let me just make sure that I can log into it. Let's log in. No, that's not it. But up here, it's going to be J3 Core. Okay, great. I can log into that. All right, so in Softaculous, we have this icon here, I'm guessing, which says Create Staging. All right, that's Create Staging. Live installation. This is the HTTPS J3 Core. Where do we want to make the live staging copy? Oh, this is very cool. I want HTTPS, and I want it in. Oh, so I need I need to create a subdomain first in here. All right, let's go back to. Let's open up a new tab. Let's go down to domains, subdomains, and we'll create one called staging. All right, I like that. Staging. It'll create a folder, staging.basicjoomla.com. All right, and we will go back. All right, that means here I'm just going to refresh this window. All right. So installation URL, HTTPS, and we're going to put it in staging. Now you can always put it in a subfolder of an existing file site, but the problem is that if you were to have it in, like, if I were to put this in basicjoomla.com/test site, then you'd have a Joomla site inside of a Joomla site, and it gets kind of complicated and it's messy. It's better to do it with subdirectories. If your web host will not let you have subdomains, it's better to do it with subdomains. If your web host will not let you do it with subdomains, then get a new web host. And I know that that's the cheesy, easy solution that a lot of people just glibly give to hosting problems. If you really like your web host and for some reason you can't go to different web hosts, sure, go ahead and put your your test copy inside a subfolder. Just remember, you're going to have to be very careful when you're moving things around. As you can see from these methods, subdomains are very practical. But we're going to put in staging.basicjoomla.com, and then down here we're just going to create staging. Wow, this is probably going to be the easiest. I never even thought about doing this. That's a great suggestion, Serge. All right, this would probably call for its own video. This is awesome. All right, so staging was created. All right, so let's look. There it is. That's so funny. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. All right, not everyone's going to have Softaculous to use, but I tell you, I'm happy to see that because I'm going to use this method all the time now on my server. I'm really glad I show up for these live streams so I can learn stuff. Okay, staging.basicjoomla.com/administrator. We can go there. It's the same password as before. And we're in there. Wow. Wow, that was so easy. I'm just laughing at myself. Honestly, it's like, yeah, okay, that's really funny. Well, it would have made a very long live stream if I started out with that one. All right, so what have we seen? You can make a test copy of your site by copying it to a subdomain, making a new database, importing that database, the exporting the live database, importing into the new database, and doing that method. You can use a Kiba, which copies to a subdomain. To set it up, use copy a subdomain, use Kickstart, restore it. You miss out on a lot of the steps. Or you can, if you have Softaculous on your server, just go ahead and make a staging site, which is awesome. Awesome, awesome. All right, so now back here, let's return to overview for Softaculous. So they have something here that says, oh yeah, so basically this is recently staged. Okay, staging, great. If I don't want that anymore, all right, once I've done my staging, if I want it to, oh, look at that. Here's an icon here. Mary says she's used Softaculous years ago, had bad results with updates going forward, and have avoided it since then. Yeah, so don't use, yeah, I agree with you, Mary. Don't use Softaculous for updating things. But check this out. This says push to live. Let's try this here. All right, so this is J3 core there. All right. j3core.basicjoomla.com. Staging.basicjoomla.com. Okay. Let's check this out here. Maybe /administrator. And we get into there. Okay. Let's make some changes here. Content, articles. Yeah, easy's not always the best, but this might work out well. Okay, here's the sample page that we have here. I'm featuring it, and I'm going to go Control A. Oh, put a space in there. Control A, copy, and then I'm just going to bomb in a bunch of this stuff here. All right. So this, we're doing this on the staging page. All right. Save and close, and we will preview. And there's our staging. Now our live site, well, our live site, this core site, is this one here. All right, so we've got this. Whoops. We've got this with a bunch of sample page text on there, and this that has nothing. If we go into Softaculous, we see a new icon here that says push to live. Now, does it know to push to live? Will it replace our live site? Let's see. Push to live. Current staging site will be pushed to your live site. Okay. This will replace all the files of your live installation and the ones in the staging installation. Will erase the live database and import the database from your staging installation. That's pretty cool. Make sure that you've backed up your live site though, just in case something happens. But if we go push to live, and it does that little thing, let's see. This is nice that it's taking a little bit of time because it's longer than to install anyways. It was pushed to live. So now that means if I refresh this page at j3.core.basicjoomla.com, we should see that text show up. And it does. So you know what? Michael, your tip to use the select all button at the top of the file manager and cPanel was excellent, and got me to pay attention to more of those buttons at the top, like using copy and that. So I would probably, before Serge suggested this, I would probably give you the award for the best tip of the day. And that was a great tip. I really enjoyed it. But I'll tell you, Serge, this mentioning Softaculous, that you could make a staging copy and then use this to merge it, is pretty good. And I agree with you, Michael. It is scary. It is scary to say, okay, go ahead and change this stage site and make it and replace everything in the live site, because that does make me nervous. But if they've got it set up right, and it seems that they do, and as long as you have a backup of your site, oh boy, we always, I know we just can't say too much, make sure you have a backup of your site. I gotta say, Serge, this is pretty amazing time saver for doing this. I am very, very impressed. So we will give the Platinum Award for the best tip to Serge today, and we'll give Michael the Gold Award for best tip, a very close runner-up. Unless, and that's a lot of pressure, because as we hang out a little bit more here in the live stream, possibly, who knows, maybe someone come up with an even greater tip. So, but that's pretty cool. Part of the other reason why I want to talk about this today was I broke one of my rules the other night. Working on a site for a client, and there were some updates that needed to be run, and I knew that they had a backup, an Akiba backup of the site. I could see it was right there in the folder. So I started working on it, and just given the circumstances, I knew the site had just been moved to a new server, not mine, but to another company, and it was there. So I thought, well, you know what? I've already got the backup. I'll just start updating some things. I really thought to myself, I should do this on a copy, move it to my server. But the whole fiddly thing of creating a database and uploading all that was just I wasn't into it. Anyways, eventually got to the point where it's like, oh, I better restore the backup, because something's not working right here. I restored the backup, and it wasn't the backup of the live site. And it turned out that backup, there was something wrong with it. And I should have just started out backing up, making sure that I had a backup that I knew that I had done, that was tucked away safe somewhere. And so I've been days trying to fix just the one little thing, because it's just a fiddly thing in an old template. I really should just create a staging thing. Now I don't know if Softaculous is on this other host company. I'm going to look, but it would have been so easy just to make a staging copy using this method, or any of the methods today. Make a copy and test. It would have saved me hours and hours and hours, and at least 3 late nights so far. Things are sorted out, I hope. But anyways, so give Michael a wrench. Michael, you don't have a wrench. No, Ivor, the server didn't have a backup daily, because the host they moved to charges extra for backups, and so we couldn't get it that way. All right, well, let's see here. All right, It's a wrench ceremony for Michael. Michael, you're now moderator. Celebrate by posting a full URL to one of your sites. And of course, Serge already has a wrench. Is there anyone else on here that wants a wrench? That's all we got. All we have here is wrenches. This almost becomes meaningless, right? But it's not. Michael, welcome. You're moderator on the channel. We barely ever have any spam. And we have found out too that moderators cannot ban moderators. I think there was months, maybe more than a year ago, there was two of you on the channel that one tried to block the other one for something. So Ta-da! There's your wrench. Yeah, you can actually paste full URLs. Okay, so great. Yeah, that's good. We haven't had a wrench ceremony in a long time. All right, everybody. So while we hang out here, I need to fix up some of this mess I've made here. So let's return to the overview. Now, the nice thing here is, okay, stage. Oh, look at, oh my goodness. There we go. We'll check that link out. It looks like the staging stays there, and we can keep doing that. Now, of course, if you have a live site where people are buying things while it's live and while you're making on copies, you don't want to take your staging site and make it the live site, because you'll lose orders, you'll lose data that's in there. This is just strictly for fairly static pages. So if you've got something where someone is signing up for things, you really don't want to do the staging thing. So that's something to remember. Should make a note of that if I ever do a video on this. Yeah, you have to be super careful with. You have to be careful of that. Of course, this is a very static site. I'm actually considering taking my basic Joomla.com site and just making it a static site which talks about the channel, and moving my videos and tutorials and everything over onto my CyberSalt to build up the brand of my business. But because then I can put other tutorials from other topics there too. I have some stuff on Gmail that I made for my mom, how to use Gmail. So I'm thinking that to build up my CyberSalt site doing that. All right, Michael's shared this that video of Kiba backup. All right, and it's right on the Kiba thing. Let's see here. I'm going to copy the URL here. We'll put it on the screen. And restoring a site to new server. And this is...
backup of your website.
No, this is for...
It's only useful if you can restore it.
This is the Kiba 6.
Perhaps you need...
So it is fairly recent, and it's showing it on Joomla 3. So yeah, there's a video. That's one of the videos, and of course it's on the Kiba site. So all right, let's close here and let's go back to, whoops, I lost the, did I lose the chat window? No, here it is here. Oh, just set the site offline while upgrading. Yes, you could do that, although that would mean that let's say if you're if you're going to do some updates for a couple of quick tests on the staging site and it works, and then you're going to update that, then that's fine. But if you're going to take like a couple of hours and you had a busy e-commerce site, you wouldn't necessarily want to put it offline. But yeah, putting it offline could be helpful if you're just doing some quick checks. But that's, again, you could make a staging site and open it and still do the back and forth thing. You don't have to take the staging site here in Softaculous and upload it and then use it as the replacement. You could just keep going back and forth with the staging site open, make a change, all that works, and make it on the live site if it's a lot of activity to it. But yeah, putting it offline would certainly be appropriate in some places. And of course, if you're doing big updates or big work or something like that in the middle of the night, why not put it offline and just for maintenance, just so that people see? I know someone who would put some of their biggest clients offline during the day when they were working. Like, oh, I've got some updates to install, so they just put it in the middle of the day. Now, websites are global, and so therefore, there's potentially always going to be somebody who is looking for looking at your website anytime during the day. But these were commercial sites where, probably best, late at night here on the left coast of Canada makes it very late at night in the rest of North America, and also down in South America. And it also is very middle of the night or very early in the morning in Europe. So if you have an English-speaking, English-serving commercial site, you probably do not want to put it down during the day here in North America. All right, so I'm going to get rid of a couple of these sites right here. And here's some tidying up that you need to do every now and then. So I don't need staging, so I'm going to remove it. In fact, I can check this. I'm going to keep J4 core. I don't need donor basic Joomla, and I also don't need maintenance Monday 218 basic Joomla. So I'm going to select those three and remove completely. I can also remove them from Softaculous, but I'm going to remove them completely. And they will be gone. Now, once those are deleted, I need to go back into, as the page is reloaded, all right, I need to go back into cPanel, into the file manager, and I need to remove, so for instance, did it remove the folder? Oh, there's staging. There's maintenance Monday 218. There is staging. I can remove that. And I'm going to remove test copy. Yeah. What else don't I need on here? And donor was one that I removed. I don't need a Kiba copy backup, but get rid of that one today. And I'm going to go delete. All right, skip the trash and remove those. But also, just to keep things tidy, now I'm going to go into software. And no, I'm going to go into domains and subdomains. And there's a bunch of things I don't need in here. So now I'll show you a little trick that I do here. I'm going to right click and open, remove in a new tab on each of these because it's faster for me to do this, because otherwise it opens your move, you go back. So I'm going to right click that. I don't need donor. I don't need maintenance Monday. I don't need staging. And I don't need test copy. All right, and what I can do here now is I can go through here and say delete, delete, go through each tab, hit delete all in a row, and now I can right click and close tabs to the right. I can refresh this, and I've gotten rid of a bunch of these subdomains that I don't need. This one probably I don't need as well. J3 to J4. That's probably one that is just from migrating. So I'm going to remove that as well. That was probably from a tutorial. So I've got this that is a Joomla site that has viruses in it, which I'm keeping. I've got J3 core, J4 core, and I have a WordPress install that I've done something with. I don't know if I still need that. All right, so now we can go File Manager and look at our domains here. And here's the J3 to J4. So we'll delete that. Yes, and Ivor, I was just going to say that. Yes, the databases need to be removed too. And in this case, for me, it's much easier to know which ones to keep. And you're right, Michael, I have to change the passwords that expose, which I will change on the back end of the site. I'll change after the live stream, because if I do them now, everybody will see the changes that I'm making. Oh, look, we still have this folder here, staging. Remove that. Test copy. Remove that. Some more tidying up. Oh, what? I thought I removed these. Unless this is another window that I opened up. Unless I'm missing messages saying that can't be removed. All right, let's reload. Public new. Oh, yeah, we don't need public new. Let's delete that. Confirm. Softaculous backups. Today at 12:18. What's that? Oh, it made a backup and it did a tar of that. I don't think I need that today either. Although, oh yeah, that's in the root. Oh, that's in the root of the hosting. That was done today at 12:18. I don't really need that. Must have made a backup before. Must have made a backup before restoring. That's nice. But I wonder if Softaculous has a place in here for backups. Overview. Install. No. Let's see. They've got for import. Import software from Joomla, from this server, from a remote server. I'm not sure about that. I'm just going to delete this here. All right, got that done there. Marketplace. Oh, I wonder what Marketplace is. There's some old files in there. Oh, you know what? Marketplace is hard to say. I don't think it's mine. I think this is something that I did for somebody else who's working on it here. Marketplace. Kiva backup. Marketplace. January 21st. That's something I was working on for somebody a couple of weeks ago. So I can delete. How'd that end up in Marketplace? I don't know. I'm going to delete that though. That's probably why my backup was oh no, that's in its own folder there. All right. Probably copy that over working on some site. All right. Yes, so for the databases, we'll go back to cPanel here. And going to go to databases and list them. Keep a backup. I can delete that. So I'll use my same little trick here. Keep a backup. I'm going to right click, open a new tab. I need that. Test copy. Open in a new tab to delete that. These other ones, okay, these ones that are 0, 702 and 715, I'm pretty sure those are safe to delete now. And here's another one, 259. See, these are numbers that Softaculous picks when doing things. So, although I would have thought they'd remove those. So let's go here. Let's delete, 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 delete. Oh, what's the message here? Oh, the system user basic 2 doesn't control it. MySQL database 702. Interesting. Oh. That's why those are still there. Look, maybe those are Softaculous ones that couldn't be removed. Let's go back and refresh. Or else they just disappeared anyways, because look at that. Here's what we've got. Basic Joomla. I could figure out these other ones. This, yeah. Okay. And I can check those out. All right, for the last bit, let me change the screen here, and I'm going to chat on right, and let's see, we will go, now I'll go and change those passwords. Let's go to File Manager, let's go into Basic Joomla, to the public HTML, and we'll go to configuration.php, and we will go edit. And oh, I also need to change the database for this one here. So the user, I also should change the users, remove the users as well. Which right screen computer capture. Yeah, so I've got users down at the bottom here too, so I can delete that user. I don't know if any of these other ones are in play here. Oh, basic Juakiba copy. I can delete that one. I deleted test copy. The other ones I'll have to look more into, so let's delete that. And let's delete that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have to go to my configuration.php file. My user is it's interesting, you know, because that database user and password appear much closer in other configuration files in Joomla. This particular one, they're spread out, which might be left over from this being a much older install that I've done. Let's see, where's user? Okay, basic Joe. Right, and I need to change that. So I'm going to go basic Joe. All right, now, so in here, I go back, find a user. Here's basic Joe, and I'm going to change the password. And on that, I'm going to change to the right. I'll use the password generator, and I'm going to do this and copy. And I'm going to use that password, new password, and change it. And now in the configuration file, I need to go to change the password for the user. Password is this here. Control V, save, and if we go to right computer screen and go to basic Joomla, yes, that works, but in switching back, I showed you the password again. So I'm going to go back to chat on the right again, and I'm going to go back to that user. Basic Joe. I'm going to change the password. This time I'm not going to show it to you. Okay, like that. I'm going to copy, save, use password. Go into there, put that password in there. Control V. I'm going to save. Also, refresh. And I broke it. What did I do wrong here? Password for the user. Yes, I know. Oh, Tim. There's a lady at the church I used to pastor, and I would make a joke every now and then. She's a dear friend. She'd say, if it was a very corny joke or something, she'd say, "Oh, Tim." Password. Maybe I did not. Did I not click save? I think maybe I just didn't click save. Yeah, I forgot to click save. Okay. Also, I revealed in there a password for sending mail. Just a very junk password I tossed in there one day. And so mail.basicjoomla.com. I need to change the password for that too. Mail.basicjoomla.com. And that will be password. It's going to be mail accounts, email accounts, sending mail. I'm going to manage. I'm going to generate a new password, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to save that, update that, go into configuration, change that password. All right, and save. And then we go to basicjoomla.com/administrator. And go to the right computer screen capture. And that password that I need here is this one. If I go system, global configuration, and server, and I have SMTP settings in there, I can send a test mail right here. And we'll see if that worked. See if it works. Oh, you can look at here, and you can modify database password in here now. I never used to be able to do that. Okay. My send test mail button is not working. I wonder what the problem is. If I switch to PHP, okay, PHP mail. If I send by, if I set this to send by SMTP, that's not working. Let's try this. Okay, I'm going to change screens here. No, couldn't authenticate on the server here. All right, so let's see. Chat on right. Let's go back. Okay, I'm going to close some of my open files here so I don't give away anything again. Oh, that's right. I don't even have the proper information in there anyways. Manage is going to be sending mail at basicjoomla.com. Okay. Let's see what I did wrong here. I think what I did wrong, right computer screen, is I set up an SMTP user that can access the server for sending, and but the username needs to be a full address. And I do this just so that I can send out through the mail server, but I don't want to put in my information there for one of my personal accounts. So I just set up something called sending mail at basicjoomla.com, give it a password, and now if I click here, and that works. So, all right, save and close. Okie dokie. Hey, you know what, everybody? Just as we kind of get ready to wrap things up here, I'll talk about this more, but hardly anyone's going to see this at the end here. After much thinking and waiting, and this is going to make Mary very happy, I have decided that my go-to template creator tool, is going to be CK Template Creator. That's the one that she uses. At first, I got to tell you, when I first looked at it over time, some time ago, I thought, I'm an old guy who doesn't like to learn new tricks. Although I learn lots of new tricks, but there's so many tricks to learn. Why learn the ones you don't need to? So I kind of looked at CK Template Creator, and or is it Template Creator CK? Anyways, and I thought, oh boy, I don't know if that's for me. And Mary really liked it, and I've seen sites that she's done it in, and I've looked in the back, and it was just like, oh, I can't figure this out. Maybe I don't want to figure it out. Anyways, I was really hoping that, Michael, Michael, I think we're all old. Anyways, I was really hoping that that Asteroid would be picked up by somebody, and it was forked by one company, and there's another one that I'm waiting for, was waiting to hear that was going to pick it up as well, and keep JD Page Builder going, which I really liked Asteroid, but the company that first forked Asteroid from the beginning, and I've talked to Mark DeShevre about this, they've put out 5 or 6 updates. So they're actively doing it. But you know what? I don't hear anything from them. I've never... I don't... There's no promotion of it. And especially with the channel here, I want to promote things that... I want to use things that aren't, I think when I use things, people think, well, I'll use that too. And I know that was the case with Asteroid. I don't want it, I just don't want to get, not burned again. I just don't want to be in that position where I have to say to a lot of people, hey, everyone, sorry. I know I was really bullish on this, but it's not there anymore, and I really hate that. So it's not that I don't think I'm going to go on a big promotional tour saying, hey everyone, this is what I'm using now. I may just subtly start using it in tutorials and making tutorials on it. Last week was really funny because I was struggling to do something, and then Mary watched the live stream, and she actually made a wonderful video. She's Mary, you were very nice about it too. Mary didn't say, oh, I'm making this video because Tim Davis couldn't do this on his live stream today, so I'm making it to help him. She just made a video on how to do what I was doing, and it was really great. I'd already figured out with my employee, but it was nice to see that. Anyway, so in the last week, I've done a lot with Template Creator CK with Gernur, who is my employee. Thank you, Michael. Good is good, but nothing is forever. That's right. Anyway, so we've been working on some. I've been training him on Joomla, and so we've been trying to figure that out. We figured out some things together to the point where last night we were working on a site together, that one that I broke, and it's a very old template. And he kind of chuckled because it went from like 2 weeks ago where we were like pulling our hair out saying we can't figure out how this works, or where do we change this, to like, oh, now here we are. We wish that we could use CK Template Creator on this project because we would have had it solved super fast. So yes. Also, hey, here's something else I was thinking about. I've been talking with someone. On Friday, I'm going to record a conversation with someone from the channel, who watches the channel regularly, who said, "Hey, there's not enough Joomla videos. There's not Joomla videos online. Just talking to regular Joomla users and what they like about Joomla." And I thought, well, that's kind of cool. So I sort of said, "Hey, let's so why don't we record a call? It might make a nice series. Although I can't do, as you saw, there was no." Maintenance Monday this week just because I was so swamped with that thing that I broke and other things that I have to do. But he has since made some nice videos. I won't say his name yet because I still want to talk to him and that. But a couple of his videos are so nice. I'm going to, and he's doing things in Gantry. I'm thinking about asking if he would like to make videos, and then I'll upload them to my channel. So he's uploaded them to his channel, and he doesn't have a dedicated channel for Joomla tutorials. But I thought, man, he's done a really good job. He speaks well. it's very clear. It's good quality. So I thought these would maybe have a place on my channel. And the other thing too is that Mary's channel, Mary's videos, they're very excellent as well. Mary, you have a really, and I've said this before, you have a really great voice for those tutorials, and your approach to it is really good. So at the same time, while I consider offering to this other person that they're welcome to put videos up on my, submit videos for me to put on the channel. Here's another call. I'm so important. That's Alexandra LSA. Whoops, sorry, dropped my phone. So I don't know if Mary wants to put, Mary, if you want to put some videos, put your videos right on my channel as well. I do have the playlist that people can add their videos to. from their own channel. But anyway, so I was just considering maybe I should open it up on my channel that to people that to upload, if they have some tutorials that are good quality, good screen capture, good audio, just to show something and put it on the channel, possibly. Lots of things happening here in chat here. Mary just wants to help support me in CK. Ira says, can you edit from front page in CK? Mary says, if you use the page builder as well, yes. Yeah, and I checked out the page builder because on a site that Mary has built. And I was kind of thinking like, oh, I don't know about this page builder. But then I showed Gurnur, my employee, page builder, and he was like, whoa, wow, that's great. And he's a new user. And that's, that's what I'm excited about, is people being excited to put content on and be able to do things. So I think I'm probably going to be doing something with CK Page Builder as well. So SP Page Builder. We also had, I was also looking at that, and we kind of got, me and Gurnur we kind of got hung up trying to add a vertical menu to it, and there's a few things they're confusing. Now, had we stuck with it, we probably would have figured out and liked it very much. But CK Template Creator started clicking soon, so. Michael said he used to use SP before Asteroid, and you've gone back to SP. Yeah, so, Mary says she needs another video on Joom United drop tables. Cool. Bjorn says that's a great idea. Bjorn, what idea is great? Is that letting other people add their tutorials to the channel? Oh, okay, yeah, and you said the channel will grow with content. Sure, okay, yeah. Viver says he likes Mary's videos to make more. Yeah, I think they're great. Mary, I wish that you had a better internet connection there in Goatland, because we would be we could do some live streams together on CK Template Creator, and you could even you just showing me how to do things. That would be great. But alas, you have more goats than you have bandwidth, so that is not going to happen. All right, so that wraps it up for today's session. As usual, I learned something great. I learned a couple of great things that are just going to really help me just do things quicker and more efficiently. And that is stupendous. Hey, if you guys have any thoughts on this, and I use guys in the non-gender term. If I say you guys and gals have any ideas, yeah, Michael, Goatland. Mary is on a farm and she has goats. Mary said you tried to watch a live event last night and just couldn't. Come on, SpaceX. Do you have SpaceX there? Have you got that yet, Mary? Anyways, yeah, if you have any thoughts on this, you're always welcome to email me, tim@cybersalt.com, or leave a comment here on the channel. And anyways, exciting things are happening. Listen, everyone, it's so great that I've hired Gurnur. You're on the waiting, Mary, you're on the waiting list for almost 2 years for Starlink. That would be great. Yeah, because you definitely are someone that needs a better internet connection to take advantage. Not only take advantage of everything, but also help people as well. Anyway, so it's working out really great having an employee, and as he's learning. Last night, I was working on a site. I was making changes, trying to fix that site, and then something changed that I hadn't done. And then I changed things back, and then something changed. So I thought, I wonder if Gurnur's working on this. So I stopped and I watched, refreshed the page a couple times, and then he was working. So we got on and worked a little bit together on things. And then I realized, he's going to figure this out, and that's great, and he's excited too. So I just left it with him, and so there's it's freeing me up to do more of some of the business stuff I need to do, but it's also giving me new business stuff I have to do, like apply for grants and fill out forms. And I just sent my first paycheck yesterday with government deductions on it. So Anyways, I know it's just a thing lots you've done. Ivor's leaving. He's still in Thailand time after his holiday. All right, Ivor. Yeah. Get some sleep, man. It's late there anyways for you. And yeah, so I think that we'll wrap it up there. Everybody, live stream. Thank you. And it's been very nice to just sit here facing forward without having to always turn sideways. I am liking that. Okay, so that will do it for today. Until the next time, I hope wherever you are, be it morning, afternoon, evening, or tomorrow, that you are well and that you're safe. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.